Hello everyone, this is Lexicon Architect, and for today's commander, we're going to be looking at Varis, Silvery Moon Ranger, a 3-mana creature spell with Reach and Ward 1 that says whenever you cast a creature or a planeswalker spell, you venture into the dungeon. This ability only triggers once each turn, and then whenever you complete a dungeon, you create a 2/2 wolf. So basically, straight up, we're going to have a sub-theme of wolves. We have a bunch of card draw and mana ramp and token generation, which is going to allow us to continuously look at the top card of our library with Augur of Artem. As long as we have Coven, we can play lands and we can cast creature spells from the top as long as we control creatures with power with 3 different powers. Then for our late game winner, we play Enray's Forerunner. For sorceries, we're going to be playing a bunch of ramp and card draw. For instance, we're going to be playing removal, land ramp, and protection. As far as artifacts, we're going to be playing the Arcane Signet. The dungeon map allows us to venture into the dungeon for 3 mana. Dungeoner's Pack is in here because I think this is a very good card because for 2 mana, you can sacrifice it, take the initiative, gain 3 life, draw a card, and create a treasure token. Then we play Heraldic Banner to pump our creatures and help ramp us. We play Lifecrafters Bestiary to allow us to scry 1 at the beginning of our upkeep, and then whenever we cast a creature spell, we may pay 1 green and we draw a card. And then we play cards like Lightning Greaves and Swift Boots to protect our creatures. As far as enchantments, we're going to play Beastmaster's Ascension. If we can get 7 or more quest counters on this, our creatures are going to get +5/+5. Then we play Elemental Bond for draw, Elven Chorus to ramp and allow us to cast creature spells from the top of our library, find a pack for ramp and allow us to venture into the dungeon, Guardian Pack to draw cards every time we cast a creature card with that doesn't have the same name as another creature we control, Howling Moon to pump our wolf at the beginning of combat, and then whenever an opponent casts their second spell, we create a 2/2 wolf. Sylvan Anthem just to pump all our green creatures and allow us to scry 1, and then Tribute of the World Tree to allow us to put counters or draw cards if the power is 3 or greater of the creature that ETB. As far as lands go, we're going to be playing Castle Garenbrig, which allows us to pay 4 to add 6 mana to spend on creature spells or activate abilities of creatures. Lair of the Hydra, Mosswork Bridge to hide away 4, and then the Shire to create food tokens if we need to get some life gain. So let's just go quickly over the dungeons. So we have several dungeons. We have the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, which you can venture down this and get a bunch of different abilities depending on which paths we take, but always at the end we're going to draw 3 cards and reveal them, and then you may cast one of them without paying its mana cost. Then we have Lost Mine Fandelver. It's the smaller dungeon that does a bunch of stuff, but at the end we get to draw a card. And then there is the dangerous one, which is called Tomb of Annihilation, which really puts pressure on our opponents, because if we go left, we can make them each player loses 2 life unless they discard a card, and then the cell, each player loses 2 life unless they sacrifice an artifact, creature, or land. And then finally, Cradle of the Death God creates a 4/4 Black God Horror creature token with Death Touch. And then for the initiative, it says whenever 1 or more creatures deals combat damage to you, that player takes the initiative. And then whenever you take the initiative and at the beginning of your upkeep, venture into the Undercity. And then you can go down this path, which has a bunch of cool abilities. You can read them yourselves. But at the end, the Throne of the Dead 3 reveals the top 10 cards of your library. Put a creature card from among the battlefield with 3/1/1 counters on it. It gains hexproof until the next turn, and then you shuffle. So this deck is relatively cheap, coming in at $180. As you can see, we curve out at 3 mana. And that is the deck in a nutshell. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy venturing into the dungeon.